Hello, more randomized tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play some more FF1 Rando. Then again with me, Bloankilo. By now, I'm assuming you're not brand new to the channel. I'm sure you're used to this. We're doing yet another Final Fantasy Rando run, seed, and flags. We'll go over very briefly here at the beginning of the episode, and then we'll get into the run. Obviously, this is not my first rodeo, so we'll skip through some of the in-depth details here. Tonight's run is live, of course, and the main things to look at here are shop has randomized weapons and armor from the full pool, except for elite and magical armor and weapons. We've got the spellcasting items are shuffled, so we could get a nuke staff if we're really lucky. Magic levels are shuffled. I'm going to try to use the power words because I buffed them up a little bit. I never use them, but maybe one day. No spellcrafter this time around. Script, enemy spells, shuffle, all that stuff. Status attacks. I generally have all of that on. We also have War Mech Unleashed, Stronger Pirates, Astos mixed in, Trap Tile shuffled with random formations. Treasures are shuffled around but not randomized. We've got a free bridge, kind of the default incentive locations and mostly default items. There's 2 additional items, which means 2 of these on this big long list are not in an incentive location. They're just in a random chest. Other than that, nothing special for the finale. Lots of little map edits, extended open progression, which means docks everywhere and easier to walk around without an airship. Let's see, what else is in here tonight? Bosses got buffed up, so HP is never below 100%, although their basic stats could be, you know, whatever. Hey there, Hero Sound. We've also got Evade Cap, which is kind of a new flag. I don't know if we've talked about that much before, but there is a maximum to how high boss stats can roll upwards, which is right now 240 evasion, which means still can hit them a little bit, but there's a reason why we want to find a lock spell if we can. Just the default experience boost and encounter rate, I didn't change any of that from the default settings. Blursid weapons and armors, -9 to +9. Without getting into all the math, you know, an Iron Sword -9 is really bad. An Iron Sword +9 is really amazing. Not that there's Iron Swords exactly, but you know what I mean. Point is, like, it's like Dungeons and Dragons, basically. We're going to have a forced party composition. We'll see what we get. It could have nobodies. We could start with 1 character, which is fine. And as we get through the game, we'll find taverns, and we can change class party members if we need to, or not. You know, we might just stick with the default party, but I like to have that as a backup strat. Classes are also blurst, which means they'll have additional bonuses or penalties attached to the class itself, which we'll see in-game. Lots of convenience and quality of life fixes, as usual. I even buffed up the cure heal spells, which I haven't really seen exactly what that does. But theoretically, these spells are a little bit better than usual, so maybe we want to buy a lamp. And yeah, shop information is really nice, and you know, that's pretty much it. So that's your quick recap. The music today will be played by the Final Fantasy IX Overclocked Remix album, Worlds Apart, which I definitely quite enjoy. I think it's a really nice one. So, with all that said, let us begin our adventure here. Oh yeah, we can change colors if we want, but I like the dark blue for now. That'll be fine. Sure. Okay, so our first starting class is 3 characters. And that's not bad. We got ourselves a fighter, red mage, thief. Could be a lot worse for a starting party. The nun we can add in later, so we will name that character. I'll just take some random names from chat today. And as we're selecting them, we should look at their blursedness. So the thief, as a thief, can equip the Vorpal Sword, gets a bunch of extra strength and HP, and can use the black shirt. And then on the malice side, a little bit lower vitality and hit percent. So starts off a little bit less HP growth and lower number of swings, but because of the buffing in the randomizer, the thief will still get a lot more swings of the sword eventually. And, you know, if you find a Vorpal Sword, that'd be a pretty good weapon early on, I guess. So that's cool. So let's get started here. I'm just going to take a name. We're just going to open up with Kev. A lot of times I just take new names from chat that I haven't seen before. So, We'll go with that to open up. Everyone loves being the thief, though, of course. Alright, next class is a red mage that can use Excalibur. That's pretty good. Also gets level 1 white magic, although that won't change a whole lot. Because red mages get most level 1 white magic. Well, half of them, I guess. Whatever. Point is, this red mage can learn any level 1 white spell. And Excalibur's pretty awesome, so that's cool. And then Vitality and Strength up. A little bit less HP early game. And lower Vitality growth. So Black Mage gets lower Vitality growth than a red mage, but it's probably inconsequential. Next up, I'll take one from... I'll take a hero from the Twitch sides. Maybe just take one from Twitch side and 3 from YouTube, because there's a lot more people on YouTube. Alright, and then Fighter gets Night spells and Ninja spells right from the beginning. So we've got it's kind of like a pseudo Red Mage Fighter, actually. Bonus strength, bonus hit percent, less HP, so very fragile early on, but that'll make up later, and agility doesn't really matter much. So, pretty cool fighter. Level 1 to 3 white magic mostly, and level 1 to 4 black magic. So that's actually pretty useful. Alright, next name. Let's see here. Who's chatting? It's been a while since we took the Duke. We'll go Duke Nukem. Okay, and then the last one, well, we don't know. So what class this will be is a mystery. We'll bring Trist for this one, or at least I'll try. It's gonna be something like that. Tristan. Alright, so fourth person won't get a body for a while, but we'll get there. Alright, and then we begin. I'll start the timer here. Try to start the timer. I do have hotkeys for all that stuff, but I forget. Whoa, we're super speed. What happened? What is... No. Okay, we're off to a bit of a poor start. I have... apparently I had super speed toggled on. 1 second. What did I call it? What did I pick everyone for names? False start, farce start. Back to the starting positions, everyone. I was just moving a little bit too quickly there, and then I panicked and clicked some buttons that I shouldn't have clicked. And I hadn't saved or anything, so we got to redo the names. Kev Hero, Duke, and then Tristan. All right, this time. Don't panic. If it's going super fast, just change the speed. No, we're back to normal speed. I fixed that part. All right. Now we can actually have the timer going or something. There you go. Look at that. I got hotkeys for everything. Okay, let's have a look at weapon shops. So we got pretty good Were Sword, bad Great Axe, pretty good Falcon that everyone could use. That's probably one of our better Thief Swords. +7 is pretty solid. Hand Axes, Flame Swords. You can see also because who can equip it, and we can look at the stats on them if you want. So that Falcon is really good compared to normal. So if there's no magic, we'll probably buy some Falcons for everybody. 29, 31, 31. It's better than the Hand Axe +5. It's probably better than the Flame Sword +2. Flame Sword +2 gets 1 more attack, but that doesn't make up for the crit. Although Flame Sword is extra effective against a few things, but yeah, it's probably the best weapon here, is the cheapest one. So that's cool. So Falcon +7, pretty solid. What else we got? Wow. Really good for fighters later on. Opal +6 has no evasion penalty and 54 defense. The Pro Cape, not very impressive, and the Opal Shield -7, well, why does that still have +9 defense? I feel like that's not correct. I thought the Opal Shield had like 8 defense by default, and then -7 should bring it down to 1. Wonder if that's not correct. I don't think the shield starts with 16 defense. Maybe I've underestimated the Opal Shield all my life. Anyway, the important thing is what kind of magic do we learn? So, I still see plus signs. It didn't quite work. Anyway, Ice 3 is a great early game sweeper. We got 2 people that can use that. For the future tubers, I did try to fix the plus signs in my my hack. So Cure 2, Harm, Invis, A-Mute. White Magic, level 1's kind of a bust. So Ice 3 will carry us for a while. Also, I should probably hold on. How much HP have we got? Yeah, Kev's up front for now. Until we get a couple level ups. And then we could potentially get another thief. I don't really want 2 thieves. Sorry. Yeah, I thought I fixed the plus signs. I have not quite completed that fix. There's a little change I gotta do to FF Hackster that will theoretically one day fix that problem, but I haven't quite got it figured out just yet. And there is a cube for sale. Don't let me forget that. I want to buy that later. So I think with the rest of my money, I'm just going to buy some of those swords. Yeah, no, I bought a tent. We can use a tent to save. Should have not bought a tent and... Oh, I messed up again. Should have not bought a tent and gone to the inn after we're done shopping, but this is fine. I wasn't expecting to go exactly to 2 gold. The Corneria Tavern is just thief, unfortunately. So not quite what we want. Ah, $10. That's fine. Anyway, took a little bit longer than normal. Let's save up, and we'll make a quick run up to the castle up here. We might be able to deal with it. Nice run. Better run for your lives. Well, goodbye, Kev. Good thing we saved it. So there's a Warmech just hanging out there outside Temple of Fiends. Good first encounter though, right? So that means if we did a hard reset, we could farm them. You could just fight them up in this encounter zone all the time. Once we can defeat them, you could always fight them in this area off of a hard reset. Just in case you wanted to do that. Tiny bit of gold. Not enough for me to worry about picking that up. Alright, so like 500 gold in the top floor. Alright, Garland. Let's deal with them. We got some pretty good ice. We got some nice magic here. And a pretty good sword. Yeah, no problem. Level 3, just like that. Well, impossible against Warmech right now. But later on, we'll be able to defeat him, probably. Alright, we got a canal. And a slab plus. Let me, I feel like the in-game music's a little bit low today. Maybe I've switched emulators or something here. Let's pump this up a little bit. You should be able to actually hear the in-game sound effects. Still a little bit quiet. Alright, oh yeah, I've got a tractor too, by the way. By the way... Alright, and that was bridge. What'd I get? A canal. And a slab. Feels like that's what we picked up. You can generally see things in game. Alright. Well, it looks like we're gonna have a walk somewhere. Actually, what I want to do is buy some tents. Let's just stock up on tents to save as we travel around. Alright, so let's see. We need a ship or a canoe to get anywhere right now. Uh-huh. Good job, Kev. Got us away from Warmech. Looks like there's going to be a lot of Warmechs on the world map. At least around Corneria. Nuclear waste. It's post-apocalyptic. This is the real Cyberpunk 2077. War machines everywhere. Oh, we could kill a creep. Right? We got cool swords. There you go. Look at that thief getting a kill. That's way tougher than a vanilla thief. There's no way a level 3 vanilla thief could one-shot a creep. Not with a rapier, anyway. Once we get some armor, I'll probably put the fighter in the top spot. But right now, no one has any armor. The thief does give us better preemptive strike chance by some percent. So, oh look, a loose ruby. Well, I'm glad I went to Matoya. Doesn't really help us much at this exact second, but that was one of our 2 loose items already. Okay. Level 100 thief. I don't know. Even in vanilla, if you could get to max level thief, you could probably one-shot a creep. Maybe. It's those iguanas that would kill you. Pretty nice long run there, whichever encounter table we're on. Oh yeah, that's right! Shuffled towns. I was thinking we'd go kill the pirates. Not right now. Alright, we don't have much money. Warp would be nice. Zap would be decent. Lock might be important one day. Let's see. Life spell's pretty good. Life 2 is better. Unfortunately, no one can learn that, because it's white mage only. So that sucks. Ruse is pretty good on a fighter, though. And actually, I think the 4th slot might be Red Wizard learnable. I can't remember. I never remember those slots for red mages and wizards. Anyway, that's rather unfortunate. Level 3 magic kind of bad. What else we got here? Technically an improvement for the fighter and the red mage, but not enough to buy right now. Iron Hammer +9 though, maybe that's what I should have bought. It's about as good as our Falcon and $2. It's pretty good. All right, cool. Probably not going to buy that silver sword. It's just not that much different. We could get a second fighter. No, I don't want duplicates. I want, like, nice variety. I like diversity in my classes. Could I get some good chain armor or something? Not this garbage. I want some, like, chain armor +9. Houses for sale, pretty cheap. Remember that for later. We really have no money. We're gonna have to go Dwarf Cave and walk down to normal Elfland next. We do have Lightning 3 at level 4. That's good. And, you know, Brack is fine. Some people like Brack. And then level 4 White Magic is... Invis is also decent. So far, White Magic, I guess there is... It's good, just not for people that aren't White Mages. It's kind of bad for Red Mages and Knights, because we don't have access to Life 2. So other than that, that direction's a dead end. Might as well take at least 1 or 2 fights here. We are pretty low level for a nice long overworld walk with really no money or anything. Can't do anything with the ruby. Good thing I saved it, hey? Good job, Kev, getting away. Yeah, we got no armor. Unrunnable imps. They better not have nuke. I think last seed the imps had like quad X or something. Alright, let's buy some more. We got a long walk. I want to have lots of save items, so let's buy at least a couple pures, at least 1 soft potion just in case. There's no heal potions here. Actually, you know, tents were a kind of mistake. Cabins are like basically the same price, and they heal you like 3 times as much. Yeah, we'll be back to Elfland eventually to buy some magic. It's just, well, for now, Life 2 doesn't help us at all. And if I can get a White Mage, then we'll maybe go back for that. Alright, so we'll check Dwarf. And then because we've got extended open progression, we can take the nice long walk all the way down to Elfland area, which will be something. Could be any town, really. Alright, 2 chests. A very nice coral sword. Okay. Okay. That'll be an improvement. You know what? I'll let the thief have it. I don't know the exact stats, but it'll definitely be better than a coral sword is better than a falcon anyway, and +9 is better than +2. So, and we do bonus damage to sea creatures. It's not a huge improvement, but you know, I'll take what I can get. Okay, we could go straight to Marsh, but I think that'd be a bad idea. Oh, I should have killed that. I should have won that fight. Okay, we'll do this fight. This is one of my favorite old experience grinds as a kid. I think it's worth 600 experience, like on the dot. 600 XP, 600 gold in the vanilla game. It's just one of my favorite encounters from grinding up for those silver swords and stuff back in the old days. I wish I had saved up. I wish I'd taken a few more encounters before I went to Provoca, because it would be really nice to have. It'd be really nice if we had the warp spell. Okay, I didn't want to save it until if I knew there was a clinic, because this could have been Lefane, or no, I guess Lefane would have a revival place anyway. Well, I guess we take a black belt for now. Congratulations, Tristan. You're now a black belt. You might not stay as a black belt, but let's have a look at what black belts get. So they get some black spells at level 1. Not much else. So it's not bad, just nothing special really for a black belt today. And I'd have to go all the way back to Corneria to get you the Ice 3. Like, we have Ice 3 at level 1, so that's pretty good. There's your Quad X and your Stomp. And Fades at level 7. Aww. Okay, well, unless we had an Oxyale, there's not much else we can do here. So we have to go to Marsh now. With no heal potions, no heal magic. I think we're going to do a little baby grind. I need enough money to buy the warp spell and some heal potions. And maybe the cube as well or something, I don't know. Come on, encounter zones. Oh good, the asps have poison touch. How vanilla. How many pure potions did I buy? Now, our physical damage is good. I'm just concerned about our ability to heal up or escape out of it if we get into a tight spot. We're not... I wouldn't even say we're underpowered for Marsh. We don't have a lot of support abilities. One more battle. That's not Warmech. We got 2,400 gold. So that's enough for the warp spell to go all the way back. There's no armor that we can buy that's any good. There's not really any weapons to buy. But there's some level 3 magic. That's really about it. I guess maybe we should just start walking back. Kev's having a rough time here. Alright. Let's get rid of that. And, cool. Yeah, alright. Let's go back all the way back. It's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal. We're just going to take fights as we go. And then when we get all the way back to Corneria and Elfland, prepare for Marsh Cave. This is a pretty bad start for me. Very slow. Vanilla algorithms for black belt. There's a flag that reduces his critical growth or his magic defense. I didn't change any of that. So it should be a pretty vanilla black belt. Except for, of course, the Blursid classes. Like, you know, he does have bonus agility and magic defense and less strength. Which doesn't really matter. I suppose for a black belt, less strength makes no difference at all. So there's some things like that. Kind of a nice perk. Don't forget we've got a few charges of Ice 3. Not super effective against undead or anything, but still a nice spell. Kev's gonna die here. We have, like, literally no armor, so it doesn't really matter who's in front. I could just move whoever's got HP. I suppose Tristan with black belt HP should probably be up front. But the Thief supposedly gives us better preemptive strikes, so I'm just kind of thinking we'd stick with that for a little while here. Nothing to do in Astos' castle. Yeah, we're kind of forced into marsh. There's really nothing else to do, and because I had not even a single heal potion, I didn't really want to get in there yet, so... I mean, last time we were in Elfland, we had, like, 200 gold. So, also prepare for screaming. Oh, no, not quite. Gotta buy some more pure potions, too. So many things. Everyone needs my money. Everyone... Such a broke Ankylo, man. He's definitely one of the more... I wouldn't say difficult starts, but slow starts. Probably what we should have done is when we went to Elfland the first time, like, Provoke Elfland, we should have taken a couple fights below it so we could afford the warp spell or some heal potions. Should have expected we needed to go to Marsh back then. Okay, we're going to want enough of those to not be a problem. I'll buy one of these. Buy 20 of those. I'll buy, let's see, 2 more softs. So now we need heal potions. Primarily heal potions. Oh, and, I suppose... Seeing as our, black belt can learn some level 1 magic. Alright, one more trip to another town. Just back and forth across the continent over and over again. Half an hour later, we'll finally get a boat. I was looking at chat. That's my excuse for drunk walking. Okay, so at the very least, we're gonna buy warp. Yeah, it's fine. The only spell at level 3 white that was really... Lock? I don't know. Maybe I'm making a huge... No, there's gonna be a lock too somewhere. We'll be fine. Oh, we don't have enough money. We had enough money just to buy a couple of spells. We could... I hate this. It's such a waste to buy life when life 2 is at the same level. Same slot. Just save our money, buy some heal potions. Just remember life is level 3. This is for later. Be nice to buy some houses, but... Alright. 30 heal potions, or 25, whatever we ended up with, should be plenty. There really was no good armor, right? Not even anything. Wow. There wasn't any good armor in Corneria that I just couldn't afford, was there? I think it was like opal... It's like knight armor. That's it. Okay, I don't want to deal with that right now. The complete lack of armor is a little disconcerting. I do like how our thief actually has the most HP. So in a scenario where we have 0 armor at all, the thief really is the best front row character, which is... doesn't make any sense. It doesn't feel like real Final Fantasy to me. This is not my Final Fantasy. Where's my tanky knight? Yeah, absolutely nothing worth anything. Okay. So we're gonna dive marsh naked. At least we've got some swords. We got Ice 3, we got some swords, we got some potions. That's all we got. And angry ponies out there to stop us. Well, so hey there, Ryan. At least we got some cool music, right? We've got an awesome MP3 player we bring with us. I might as well just take some fights. You know, we've got nothing else, and we might need some more money. Oh, I should mark off that cube while we're doing all this stuff here. That's an extra 5% experience and gold per battle, you know. The opal armor is nice, but it's going to be a pretty long time before we have a promoted fighter. Like, it's pretty much worthless for, like, at least 50% of the game, probably. Maybe more like 90% of the game. Just depends on where they drop the tail on us. One good promotion knight armor doesn't make a shop for me. I want to see chain armor or iron armor. Mute touch. Silence touch. Better than stun touch, though. Alright. So we've got a couple warps. A few ices. Oh, it's just this is Bossa de Victory. It's definitely from FF9, just remixed a bit. Nice long run here in the terrible Cave of Doom. Well, that's enough money. We probably want to take that out of here. $14,000 on the top floor. A bad cape and some more money. Well, there, enjoy your 4 absorb at the cost of probably 4 evasion. So I think what I'll do, because I don't have a lot of warp charges and no house, is we'll go to here, and then we'll warp out. And then we'll save here. And that leaves us 3 warps, which should be enough to get out from the bottom. Eh. Unrunnable mucks. We could have just fought him, I guess. Probably better than a war mech, to be honest. Okay, we're definitely in the part of the encounter table with lots of enemies. Eventually there's a really good run. So once we get to the really good run, then we'll just clear half the dungeon without any encounters. Yeah, Bart's on the map's pretty good. I'll give you that. Yeah, I don't mind using thieves once in a while, you know. With the thief buffs, they're alright. Okay, that's a lot of enemies. Let's just flee the building. Alright, bottom floor. No key. Spiders everywhere. Hope you're not arachnophobic. Alright. Please don't kill me, sir. Thank you, Duke, for getting us out of there. We definitely need to be careful down here in Warmech, with Warmech territory. A stop staff? Alright. Maybe? You know, it's level 8 magic. Runnable. Here, stop them as we run. That's a pretty dangerous encounter at a low level. That's the progression we need, though. So, where's my canoe? Might be smart just to warp out right now, but I'm going to try to finish opening chests. There are still, I think, one more loose incentive item, which could be, you know, like the Mystic Key or something. If we get killed by a war mech, then I regret everything. There's only a couple chests left, so. And I always go to the wrong one. It's like a classic. That was probably worth it. Yeah, that's probably enough. Well, I'll keep Kev at the top, but Duke... So the top slot gets hit 50% of the time, second slot gets hit 25% of the time, and bottom two slots get hit 12.5% of the time, so... At least put the people with armor nearer the front. But yeah, that's a good flame shield. Alright, that should be the last chest. Let's get out of here. Alright, we've had one to spare. Okay, so we've got a canoe. That means Crescent Lake, whatever that is, and then ice and volcano are open. So I'm hoping Crescent Lake is either Vanilla Crescent Lake or Provoca. Provoca would probably be ideal. You know, Crescent Lake has an incentive item, Provoca has an incentive item, but the level 2 magic could be very useful. There could be level 2 nuke. I guess we could kill some trolls and stuff while we're down here. Gross. Of course we left one alive. Oh, I thought we'd run at the last second there. Hey look! Tristan punched something to death. First punch kill of the game. Very nice. Some dumb fish jump into our canoe. That's the rare bull encounter. Heh. The spicy bull party. Hey look, we paralyzed one enemy. Good times, good times. Stop spell, really working well for us. This is not the town I was hoping for. Fire 3 at level 7, yeah. Cure 3 doesn't really matter too much. Hopefully there's some armor though. It's possible. What do we get? A very nice bracelet, a very bad bracelet, a very bad shield, another garbage shield. Alright. Silver bracelets for everybody. So that's 27 defense, that's pretty good. It's basically iron armor with no weight, I think. So. And there's nothing else we need. The buckler -2 is not worth it, I don't think. Yeah, so Tristan, you know, once he gets to like level 27, then he doesn't need it, but for now that's a very nice and needed armor upgrade. That's a melted sword there. We could get a nunchuck for Tristan for a little while. Sure, it's $2. Don't say I never gave you anything. Here, have some nunchucks. Alright, we're gonna heal up. I guess I should check the item shop. Oh, I should check the tavern, too. It's a long walk, but we could potentially get something other than a black belt. Like, It might be worth it to switch over to like White Mage and get life too. Maybe? At least by the end of the game. Yeah, let's buy a bunch of houses now. We've got some money. And a whole bunch of heal potions. And I'll even buy a bunch of save items. Alright. Now we're looking much better on property. Oops. Red mages. I don't want any more red mages. I already got one. I don't even like them very much. Okay, well, Ice Cave or Volcano. I generally take Ice Cave first, especially when I have the warp spell. We're gonna have to find either the ship or the floater now. We have the canal already, so ship would get us out. And we have the ruby, so we get a couple checks over to the Melmond area pretty fast. And also with Northern Docks, we can go all the way up to Onrak. What else can we do? That's about it. No chimes, so the cube doesn't do anything. Well, nice long run to Ice Cave. That's very convenient. There we go. Nunchuck that ogre right down. Alright, let's keep going. So I'm not going to take random fights for the next little while. We've got a few levels, which is good enough for now, the early game. If we're going to do a dedicated grind at this point, I want something worth a little bit more experience than our bones. Although, not looking super hot with the ambushes. Oh boy, they're the troll bones. All they do is AoE garbage debuffs. Ouch. Alright, well, no healing magic yet. Alright, so ambush our bones. I mean, there's worse things, I guess, but... I mean, they use flash, and then they use ink. And then they probably use nuclear if you don't get away by then. Do you remember when I banned singing in my channel? Because I remember. Some of these undead ghost packs can be pretty scary. You never know what special abilities they're going to have. Sorcerers, on the other hand, are usually pretty chill. Don't think there's any blue dragons in the ice cave. There's white dragons. Alright, so we'll do our little trick. Sure, we'll kill these guys, why not? Try. Maybe overestimated some of my damage there. Mages, if they don't get any spells shuffled randomly, they can't really do much. Very weak physically, you know, they're meant to kill you with rub, which they probably don't get in the randomizer. Alright, here's my little exploit. Alright, well this was the correct play. Go for the ship in Ice Cave. Get all the items. I think we'll full clear. There's still one loose incentive item, and it could still be the floater or something that leads to the floater, so... These guys are weak to ice, so... But they can be really tanky. Well, they're not too bad. Opal +9. Huh. Neat, but not very helpful at the moment. Alright, let's heal up here. I think I'll fight those waters one more time. At our level, it's worth the experience, and we have Chance to Strike first, which is perfect. So even if we burn a few ice 3s here, not a whole lot in the ice cave is, you know, weak to ice, so it's a pretty good use for it. Alright, enjoy level 14, everybody. Okay, we got 6 more chests on the bottom floor, and then like 5 more on the last floor, and then we're out of here. Ice armor in the ice cave. What? Squinted? Killed? Kev! No! Maybe we should try to kill this Hydra. Get revenge for a fallen comrade. Struck down in his prime for 500 gold. So we picked up some garbage, right? Can equip the opal... Well, the opal bracelet... 31... Yeah, it's not as good. Weighs more and not quite as defensive as silver +6. Ice -6. Wow. Kind of getting wrecked on our knight armor. Or not knight armor, our fighter armor. I know, we got good opal armor for the late game, but it's gonna take a while. Ah, no! Aegis shield -6. Okay, stare just does damage. It doesn't actually like turn you to stone or kill you like classic bird murder. Looks like the ice cave is ramping up the difficulty a little bit at the end here. Alright, more money. Our gold situation is looking pretty good. We haven't seen gold bracelets yet. They could still be really nice. So we've got like all the opal gear, right? We've got opal gloves, opal bracelet, opal shield. There's opal armor for sale. What are we missing? An opal helmet? We could go check the trap tile, but I don't care. Let's go. Alright, Kev is unfortunately dead. So the ship should be in Provoca. We could go to Volcano. I don't think Volcano is incentivized. So I don't think I checked off that box. So the only reason to go to Volcano right now would just be to, you know, kill a fiend and maybe get some treasure. I think for now we take our ship and head over to Melmond, which could be Provoca, because we still need to find level 2 magic and armor and stuff. It'd be nice to find a good shop. Also, you know, it'd be nice to revive our dead thief. I believe even if he's dead, as long as he's in the top slot, we still get the preemptive strike bonus. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, don't worry about that. He doesn't really need to be standing for that part. Alright. So, yeah, we can make a little bit of extra cash here by getting rid of some of the garbage. Now, you might say the opal glove +9 is pretty good. It's not as good as, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll hold on to it for a little while. Ice armor -6. No thanks. And Aegis shield -6. God, this stuff is so bad. At least it's worth some money, but I don't think it's worth it just for the status protection. If we get a ribbon on the knight, then maybe I would use opal bracelet. Opal glove +9 over a pro ring, especially if the pro ring's like a negative pro ring. But yeah, not amazing. Now that we've got money before we leave and never return, yeah, we want to pick up a couple spells here. Is there anything worth picking up here? Can't learn Invis 2. Huh. I think I might need to change my black belt into a white mage. Or the red whiz into a white mage. I'll take Sprack, but I'm not going to take Bane. Alright, we got a ship. We're sailing the high seas. I guess I should have gone to the inn. Oh, what about weapons? I'm not going to buy the silver sword. It's not worth it. It's like, it's slightly better than the falcon, but... Yeah, one of these days we'll find a tavern that should be able to change to white mage, and that... I like black belts, but all they really do is grind and then punch things. You get a lot more flexibility out of the other 5 classes, I find. I don't think we need a black mage this run, because the red mage gets so much... You know, we've got Ice 3 and Lightning 3 already, which is pretty good. It'd be nice to see Temper and Fast, but... We're not really missing any black spells at the moment. But white spells we're missing. Yeah, the cube's not going to help us, right? This is not quite the town I was hoping for, but... hey, 2 more shops and an incentive item. That's pretty good. Yeah. We gotta go pro rings first. See how much money we have after that. Alright, so that clinches the... I'm not going to use the Opal +9. It's still a little bit more absorb, but it's not enough for me to carry this around all game. And then... Yeah, I'll give him a hat. And we'll splurge. Wait, can you... Yeah, you can equip it, right? You better be able to. Okay. Right, space. We have to... Yeah. Classic noob mistake. You need to make space before you buy the armor. Okay. I don't buy steel armor very often, but I think this was a good time for steel armor. That gets Duke into the 90s for absorb. That's pretty good. That's a lot of defense. Yeah, steel armor +8 is solid. Alright, what else we got? Coral swords for sale. That's probably the best weapon we've seen on sale yet. We got a long sword. And a power stick. Sure. Spend the rest of my money. Oh, yeah, I see what I did. I guess I should just throw falcons on the ground. They're not really worth the time it takes to sell them. Alright. Oh, we've got a wood... We've still got the wood nunchucks. We could upgrade wood nunchucks to a power staff. Here you go. I'll give Tristan something, even though he might not be a black belt for very long. You know, 27, 56. It's an upgrade, you know. For now. Just kill that girl. Alright, level 6 white magic. I mean, heal 3 is nice, but nothing here is mandatory. We've already seen the life spell. I'd like to see cure 4 somewhere. And then level 6 black is pretty garbage. I should have checked the tavern before I bought stuff. Hey there, old man. One of them has an item. Ooh. Well, might not be progression, but it's progression of a kind. So if you didn't get a good look at that, we got ourselves a Mazmune +2. Well, I just bought all those coral swords and everything, so I'm just gonna give it to the black belt for the moment. Because I have a feeling the black belt's not going to be a black belt for very long. Okay, what do we got in Tavern mode? Black mage? Not really what I want. Somewhere out there's a white mage just waiting to join us. Alright, well, we've got the ruby here, so might as well head on over to Sarda's. I don't think I incentivized Titan's Trove. We'll check it on the way back, but this should just be one incentive item. With the ship and the canoe, we have access to most places now, especially with extended open progression. We can get to the waterfall, on-rack, castle ordeals. We can get to the Mirage Tower, but we can't get into it. The only places off limits right now are Gaia and Lefane, I think. And now that really is the only place. So, Chime, is that... Is this the other old man? Okay, I'm pretty happy with my Knight class. Ice 3, Lightning 3, Warp. Haven't found level 2. There could be like Fade at level 2 or Nuke at level 2. Red Mages are doing okay. Not a super big fan of Black Belts. And Thieves are a little on the weekend. I could change Kev to be a Black Mage or something, but for now, you know, we've got a really good Coral Sword. Like, this is the strongest thief you're ever gonna get. A Coral Sword +9. So I feel like, you know, we can keep him around a little bit more than normal. He'll be a pretty good damage dealer as a thief. Assuming we don't find a, you know, they're always cool once they get to be a ninja, but pre-ninja days, this is about as strong as they ever get. Unless you give him the Mazza. Mazmune doesn't count. Alright, a little bit of money, a fancy stick, anti-fire hat. I guess we'll keep that. So that's the heal helmet, which is not equipable until promotion. If I remember correctly. Yeah. I mean, it's going to give you more defense than Iron +5. And we have, like, literally no elemental protection at all right now. So I guess we hold on to that. Let's just beat some guys up. These Tigras, they had this coming. They gave me the stink eye. You know. Yeah, I'm okay with the la la la's as long as it doesn't get any worse than la la la's. If she starts singing actual words, then we might have to talk about changing the song. Alright, well, if that's all we've got here. Waterfall on rack. Yeah, on rack first and then waterfall, because on rack isn't on rack. We've already found on rack. It means it has to be Provoca, Lefane, or Melmont. It's gonna be a bit of a sailing trip though. So after on-rack entrance and waterfall entrance, then we can, if we don't find progression, i.e. a floater by then, we'll head to the castle ordeals, and at that point we'll have to have the floater, I think? Unless the game has decided to be floaterless. For the game to be floaterless, we will need to find a mystic key, a loot, and some oxyale and a rod. But I really hope it's not floaterless. I hate floaterless seats. What do we get? Provoca. Very nice. So it gives us some more magic, and it gives us a white mage. Yeah. Tristan, you've been upgraded to white mage. So what do white mages get? Nothing special. A bunch of starting magic defense, but slightly slower magic defense growth. And nothing else really makes much difference there. It's a pretty vanilla white mage. But you can still have the Mazza for now. Alright, what do we get for awesome level 2 white magic? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. If that's the one spell you were to get, I wouldn't argue too much. Actually, A-Rub's garbage because we have pro rings already, so it doesn't really matter. I forgot about that. Nothing very amazing at level 2 black magic. Actually, Saber's pretty good on a knight. Yeah, Saber's pretty good on a knight. Alright, so we're gonna go pick up Cure 4 for the red mage, because that's pretty nice to pick up at low levels. So it looks like Hero's gonna stay red mage now, I think. This is probably our party. I don't think I would change anything at this point. Fighter Thief red-white should be totally fine. Alright, so we've got 2 potential self-buffing casters. It'd still be really nice to get fast. Nothing here worthwhile. Alright, Bicky and his pirates. Well, now, they look like they might be weak to lightning, but I don't believe they are. Could try to stop them. Now, they are buffed. If we didn't have the really nice armor, they would be doing a fair amount of damage. And you can see they actually have quite a lot of HP. But we didn't find them for so long that even though they were buffed, they still weren't buff enough. Okay, there's not quite the progression I was hoping for. Because that's one more tick on the box for maybe no airship. Because now we can clear sky. We can get 3 orbs out of 4 right now. Dang it! Boy, we're gonna have a really good ninja once we get promoted. Flame shield, flame armor. Fine. How much money did I spend on this steel armor for nothing? I mean, yeah, it's worth it, I guess. It's actually the same amount of defense, but no evasion penalty, so it's pretty good. So that just gives us 91 absorb and also pretty good evade. Steel armor is really heavy if you didn't notice. Alright. 63 heal potions, let's top those up right now. Alright, well, we're gonna have some decisions to make, but for now, Waterfall is a no-brainer. So after this, if we don't get anything that gets us into the sky, what do? Tristan needs some more magic, obviously, being a recent White Mage class change. Doesn't have all of the spells they should have. Still think I'll go to Ordeals after this one, though. The odds of getting that airship are getting... It's gotta be getting higher and higher. Hey, look, it's a maze. I'll kill some nightmares. This waterfall doesn't look like normal at all. Oh, these are pretty good experience, too. I gotta say, Kev, the Thief, is actually doing pretty good damage. Not quite Duke Knight Fighter tier, but, you know. He's killing stuff. It's a pretty large waterfall cave. I get the feeling we may have looped around. Maybe not quite. Yeah, mermaids could be... Mermaids are incentivized. Could be floater there. Could be up in Skycast in... Oh, that's not good. We're not ready for Warmac yet. We do not have poison protection. Okay. That's not helping. Conveniently, the reset out was the right decision because the door I was looking for was actually much closer to the start than where I was when we were about to die. Alright. Come on, robot. You know how to fly ships around. I don't even have to buy the airship anymore. Or I don't even have to buy the opal armor anymore. That's what I was trying to say. A flugel. Another tick on the list of no airship. There is still one loose item, though. Could be anywhere. Alright, so we need Mystic Key and Rod for go mode. And then at that point... At this point, exactly right now, Lefane and Melmond are inaccessible because they're airship only. We have access all the way through Volcano. I think we go Ordeals, and if there's nothing there, we actually go to Sky. We go Mirage Tower into Mirage into Sky, because we're kind of in the neighborhood, and if maybe there's a floater up there in Sky Palace. But this dungeon's much shorter, so might as well do this first. Failing that, I guess then we go to I should save it first. At that point, then we do Water Shrine, I guess, because the mermaids have an incentive item. Don't think I'm pretty sure I did not incentivize the volcano because it's not remarkable. Okay, we do have warp spells, so getting around here should be okay. I just gotta focus here a little bit. Sure. We've been there before, I'm pretty sure. Definitely been there before. I think that was the last one. Nope. All messed up. I'm lost now. I forgot which ones I've taken. I think we've got to get to the big room. Let's just reset it. I think I've used too many warp cells. I think we've got to get to the large room and go to the 4th teleporter. Oh, hey, some zombie D. Ooh, a tanky zombie D. Look at that, over 450 HP. Can't remember, okay. Some Rakshasa for you. Alright, so we've been here before, but I think I took the first 3, and then I got lost in a loop, so I think we have to go to the last one. Yeah. Yep, that was like worst case scenario for a teleporter maze. Ooh! Well, how do you guys feel about hanging out here for a couple minutes? Could be nice. First, we find out if they have any secrets that we should learn about. But this is a pretty quick fight that gives us quite a lot of experience. I believe they come in groups up to 3, because it is the 3-eye grind tile. Hard not to take a few fights here at least before we move along. Let's say maybe level... Maybe it's only 2 eyes for this one. We should probably try to get to like level 20 or something, right? It's not going to take very long. If you had a black belt, boy, would this be a nice place to kill everyone off and then just have 1 black belt at level 50, but... There's the 3 eyes. But yeah, it looks like they've got nothing and they just hit for 1 damage, so pretty much optimal. This is a Biclops. It's Triclops now with 3 eyes. Oh, we got some nice Freya music too. Oh, I was going to tell you a little story here while we grind. So between the last couple streams, just over the last sort of December month, I finally got around to playing Final Fantasy 15. It's been out for a little while. I know it's not like a new game or anything, but I finally played it for all those people asking for more modern Final Fantasies. And my opinion of it was, it is now on my list as the worst Final Fantasy game that I have completed. So I finished it. Because I'm a new Ankylo. When I was a younger Ankylo, I often just quit games midway through, and then I always had a hard time getting back into it. So I try really hard to finish games when I start them now. We'll grind while I tell my story. And so I went into Final Fantasy 15 knowing it was a newer Final Fantasy. It's not going to be like the old days of killing eyeballs with fighters in turn-based. But, you know, I knew what I was getting into, and, you know, I tried to keep my expectations fairly low and just kind of enjoy it for what it was. But, nope, I actually think it was terrible. So, maybe surprising few people on this channel, but yeah, I would not give FF15 a recommendation if you're a fan of these old games. I think it would appeal to some people, but probably not people that like any of the Final Fantasies 1 through 10. Like, if you're a fan, like if you grew up playing these old ones, I can't imagine FF15 is for you. It's for somebody else. I don't know who, but it's for somebody else. Way too much time just watching the car drive, and way too much time walking across fields of empty enemies. Like, no enemies, just walking across empty fields. One of my old gripes about Ocarina of Time, you know, a classically loved Zelda game, was that Ocarina had too much empty space where you're just walking around a 3D field looking at nothing. Final Fantasy 15 had a ton of that. And sure, eventually you get a chocobo, but you still watch people drive, you walk around, and then even like in the dungeons, there's these little unavoidable little baby cutscenes where you lose control to go under, like it takes not that long, like 10-20 seconds to just walk across a cliff or the edge of a narrow gap or duck down under a platform, and it just adds up to just so much time wasting. So much time wasting. I looked at Empire of Sin a little bit. It's not very good either. I didn't like that one either. It's very, very shallow. If you like, you know, XCOM combat, it's got some of that, but otherwise it's super shallow. But yeah, FF15, it's got that 4 boys. I didn't hate the 4 guys too much. I thought they got a fair amount of character development, and it was like their part of the story was okay, but like everything else happens in the background, and unless you stop, and like I didn't figure this out until, yeah, there's an FF6 randomizer. I didn't figure it out until after the game was over, like once I'd already given up on it. But apparently in 15, what you're supposed to do if you want to hear the story is stop playing the game and go find radios and newspapers and read about it. And that's where you find out what's happening. Or just do there's like random cutscenes that trigger at certain hotels or inns, or while you're driving certain places. And if you do the right random sort of, it's like in Final Fantasy VI where you get Shadow's backstory if you go to the right places. Except it's like the entire game's plot is kind of like that. So I you know, I didn't do that much, so I missed out on a lot of what the heck is going on. And yeah, the DLC I didn't play because I was already done with the game by then. Anyway, we're probably grinded up here enough. The edition I was playing was the PC version, which I believe is the Royal Edition. I did not think it was... I don't know what it was like compared to the vanilla game. Oh, now we're going to die to a War Mech after my grind. No. Let's, Can I buy a heal spell somewhere? Thought I bought a heal spell. There's not going to be any more War Mechs. We'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to try to rant about it all day, but I definitely didn't think it was worth the time. That's not the item I wanted to find in here. Unless that leads to the floater. Couple worms. They're just fake zombie dragons. What did I like about Final Fantasy 15? I kind of liked the idea of the open world exploration stuff. Because, you know, Final Fantasy 1's got a pretty open world that you can just go explore stuff. But, something about the execution just didn't really work. What am I doing? I don't even know. I guess we should go to Corneria. Because if the floater's there, that will save us a ton of time. I didn't really like the combat very much. I found it way too hectic and, like, you know, if Final Fantasy 13 was the worst Final Fantasy combat, I think Final Fantasy 15 is the second worst. Because you're playing like an action RPG, kind of like maybe Kingdom Hearts, except you're also supposed to be doing like quick time events and dodges with little like reaction timing. I don't know, man. I'm sure some people loved it and they're really upset at me saying these things, but I never really enjoyed the combat much. Cindy, I had some issues with that too. The camera spends too long. Like you fill your car up with, you know, gasoline. You have to actually buy gas for your car. Like, since when does your airship need to get refueled? And then there's a little cutscene of her cleaning the window, and it's just like, come on. I don't even know if you could skip them, but like, I don't know. Fan service is always kind of hit or miss, and I was not impressed. I was just like, look, I'm not trying to be an old foddy-doddy, but like, it's not what I needed. I found myself a couple times being like, I want to play the game that came before this game, because the backstory for 15 is the current king who's dead. Spoilers if you watched the movie or played the game. But, you know, you're playing the prince of whatever land. Of course your dad's dead, so... The king apparently had adventures with Cid and some other cool dudes, you know, first. And we're playing as, like, the children of the Warriors of Light kind of thing. Like, if Final Fantasy 1 was the first game, we're playing as the children of Final Fantasy 1. And I'm like, why can't I just play that game with those guys? They sound like they're cool. Like, I don't want to play this kind of emo, you know, Sasuke ripoff. It's a King of the Dark Dwarves. Well, this was a dud item, so... Sorry, but that's too late. Too little too late from that, Astos. So we got a defense sword that's really bad, and it has the Pure spell. Still no ribbons, by the way. Oh, and did you guys... I don't know how many of you guys actually played much of 15. The magic system is stupid, and... and the summon system is even worse. Like, I didn't even realize that there was a summoning system. Because, like, you unlock these, I don't know. Yeah, the main character, Nyx or whatever from Kingsglaive, that probably would have made a better game than FF15 too, actually. He seemed like a cool dude. I cared more about him than Noctis. But, so during the course of 15, you unlock summons, like pretty much every Final Fantasy since 4. Or 3 even. Anyway, I didn't realize you could ever actually summon them. Because they seem, in the game, they just seem to be, what would you call them? Cutscene summons, which is what I thought they were. And how they act. We're gonna go to Elfland, because it's actually on rack. So it turns out that in combat, you can sometimes summon one of your big, Aeon, Esper, whatever you want to call them. But it relies on your characters being dead. And also where you are on the map. So, to summon Titan, you need to be somewhere with lots of land or a volcano. And I think you need 1 or 2 of your characters dead. And you don't revive them, you just leave them dead. And then it's kind of like a limit break mechanic, sorta. In the background, eventually you'll summon Titan. And he'll just kill everything on the map. So if you thought that was good game design, I don't know what to tell you. The FF7 remake, I don't have a PS4, so I don't really know a lot about it. I'm not a huge fan of the direction Square Enix is going, though, so I don't... Like, without having played the remake at all, knowing that it's kind of more ARPG like FF15, which is a bad sign for me, and the fact that they sold it as like what do we call it? 1/10 of the FF7 game, maybe? Like basically the introduction to FF7, like the original FF7, just, you know, Midgar area. I mean, that's not enough. I don't want to have 10 different. They're gonna Half-Life to it. It's gonna be different little, tiny little releases over the next 10 years, and then it'll never finish. Like, I have no faith that that'll get through the whole game like that. This episodic content BS. Yeah, the summons, you sort of have control. Sorta. But it's really mostly cutscene. But yeah, like, it's just a terrible mechanic. I didn't even realize that I got Titan. Like, I thought we killed him. And then he shows up later on, spoilers, to beat up another summon. Spoilers, right? I'm like, cool, I guess he's our summon now. I didn't realize that. But yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to, like, if you enjoyed FF15, good for you. I mean, I'm actually glad people enjoy it. I think it was garbage. But yeah, FF7 remake. I can't say that's off to a good start. Dragon Quest XI, yeah, that's a good one. They did well with that. I have that on the PC. Crap, are we in go mode? Oh, that's not good at all. No! Oxyale, Chime, Cube, Rod, Key, Loot. No, it's potentially a no floater seed again. I hate these seeds. I'm gonna keep checking chests, because maybe there's a floater hidden somewhere. Dang it, Randomizer, you're not supposed to do this. Okay, we got the second loose item. That could theoretically lead us to the floater. The tail and the floater could be at Gaia and or Lefane and Gaia. That was a really good. By the way, so Vorpal -4 is garbage, but a Cure 4 axe is really good. I'm gonna give that to my thief. That's a full heal, infinite use in battle. So it could be that sometimes the floater ends up in a place that you can only get to by having the floater if you can finish the game without it, which is what I'm hoping has not happened, but it's possible. Because the tail is not mandatory to finish the game, and that could be at Lefane, and then the ferry, like the bottle trade-in for the ferry, could be the floater. And we can't get to either of those towns, so you just can't ever do them. Oh, don't worry about that, Tristan. You'll have the life spell once I bother to go pick that up. It's totally good. And we've got a couple Cure 4 casters already, so we're looking good. Oh wow, that did not do enough damage. Sleep touch? What is going on here? Alright, well, yeah, this is a little awkward. There's a ton of fetch quest items too. We've not got the crown, the crystal. Oh, I did do the locked chest there. Yeah, I didn't talk about Dragon Quest XI much, but I had a lot of fun with that one. DQ11, I haven't played the new version on the Switch with the 2D version of everything, but the version I played on launch was really good. We don't have an exit spell yet either. Alright, let's go kill a Kraken, get at least one fiend done. We don't have a single ribbon yet, so I'm gonna keep opening chests, but we've got all the loose items already, unfortunately. But I would really like to get, like, at least one ribbon. We don't need that. Thankfully, no mimics. I mean, there's not a lot of Final Fantasies that have mimics. There's, like, trap treasure rooms, but... And this game has, like, treasure chests guarded by enemies. Like, FF1 had trap tiles to protect treasures from the very beginning, but yeah, no mimics. Yeah, I had a feeling the 2D mode of DQ11 would be cool. I just didn't want to buy it again. Like, I already bought it once. If the, whatever, Royal Edition or whatever they call it, if they give us, like, an expansion option for the people that own the original game on PC, rather than having to pay another, like, 80 bucks for it, I'll probably pick it up. I'd pick it up for, like, maybe 20 or 30 or something. Just as kind of a little bit of bonus content for the base game. I wasn't a huge fan of the whip guy, whatever his name was in DQ11, too flamboyant. But, yeah, he's alright. I can see why some people like him. But yeah, I think DQ11 had a pretty good feel for a modern JRPG. It's been a while since I've played it, but yeah, when I remember, the main thing I remember about Dragon Quest XI was that when it came out, I was like, wow, this is really good. Better than I thought it would be. And then my main impression from Final Fantasy 15 was, wow, this was really bad. What happened? Like... But I guess to wrap it up, original for OG, so rather than the remake, I expect. I would expect, what was I going to say? Yeah, all of this FF15 talk, it's making me want to play the older ones again. So I am interested in, I feel like I've getting kind of the urge to play FF9 a bit. Maybe it's because the music's in the background, but I liked FF9 quite a lot. The biggest problem I had with Final Fantasy IX was it kind of dragged on, like there were some slow parts. But maybe the remaster on the PC is a little bit less slow, like there's frame skip and stuff. I liked 9, I remember thinking some of it kind of was slow. It felt like it took a long time to get anywhere. I probably need to replay Final Fantasy X at some point. I've talked about that one a couple times in the past, but when I first played Final Fantasy X, I totally missed the main plot points, and I think it's better than I originally thought. My initial impression of Final Fantasy X was I really liked the combat, and the graphics at the time I thought were pretty darn smooth. But I thought the story was hot garbage. But looking back, I just didn't pay enough attention, so I need to play that one through properly and actually pay attention. So 9 and 10 are high on the list. 7 and 8, obviously, at that point, we might as well do all 4 of them, but that's probably as far as I'll go for channel, at least. I mean, 11's an MMO, so that doesn't even count. 12, I don't know. I've tried to play Final Fantasy 12 like 3 or 4 different times, and I never get into it enough to get past the gigantic desert of spending hours walking across the desert. You guys know that area, right? Anyone that played 12 knows the stupid desert of wasting 5 hours of your life. I don't recommend it. But, you know, maybe 12 gets better. I never... That's the problem with 12. That's why I say FF15 is the worst Final Fantasy that I finished, because I didn't finish 12 or 13 or any of those, so... Okay, we finally have an orblet. Congratulations! And we picked up the herb, which is not... It's actually very convenient, given where we are, to be totally honest, actually. I don't forget that. Yeah, 12 with frame skip might help. The voice acting, well... Alright, the bottle, unfortunately, unless we can get the airship, this could be locked. And we did the mermaids, oh, there's a couple things we did here. So we might not be able to turn that in. Did I go to the elf armory? I mean, I'm kind of dying for a ribbon right now. FF Tactics, yeah, if you count that in the main line, that's on the list too. Opal, busted shields. Alright. Ha! Where to? I mean, we can just go clear Earth now. and Volcano and just finish the game. I should turn the TNT in. Didn't I already do that? I thought I already did that. Maybe I did the adamant? Okay, let's go turn that in at least. No, we got the TNT in one of the loose chests. That's right. Yeah, 12's combat. I think, you know, 11 and 12 for me are really the beginning of the end. Maybe 10 to a lesser extent, but 12, I think they must have rewritten the script a couple times. I'm sure Balthier or, what was the... I can't remember the knight's name. The guy who tells you the prologue of the story. I feel like the main story was either supposed to follow Balthier, however you want to pronounce his name, or the knight captain that watched the treachery in the castle at the beginning of Final Fantasy XII. Like, I feel like the game should have followed them, because they're, like, the important characters. Maybe the princess. But this like, Vaughn and Pinello... stupid kids. I mean, I got nothing against kids doing stuff in video games. Wait. Oh, here's something I didn't know. Because it was Astos fight for the turn-in, you actually keep the item. That's something to remember, actually, if that's how that works. So normally you lose the turn-in item when you... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I just got confused there. Where did I should have saved it closer to the ship. Well, alright, so we don't have the adamant yet, I don't think. We never picked that up, but I did do the TNT turn-in. Okay. Sorry, just ditzed out there for a second. I couldn't remember why I still had the TNT. Okay, well then where do we go? I guess Earth is close. I think maybe the vampire's incentivized? I don't know. If there's a floater at the vampire, I'll be pretty salty. And we should try to find some more magic. Like, I'm happy with our team composition, but there's like some spells we needed to buy. There's that heal 3. Yeah, we got enough money. We can buy those. I mean, I'm as soon as I found out it was like basically a no airship seed floaterless, kind of totally threw me off my game. I hate it when this happens. Sega Frontier. Oh, yeah. The Sega series is interesting. Generally way too difficult. As a rule of thumb, Sega games are way too complicated and difficult. Some of them aren't so bad. Some are worse than others, but I don't generally recommend that series unless you're very serious. I know some people just love them to death, but they are more of a niche pick by a fair shot than your typical like Final Fantasies or Dragon Quests. Last Remnant, that's cool. I played that when it came out. I never finished it. I've got it on my list of things to do one day. Either to Let's Play or to just play, but... It's got a weird leveling system, and you can kind of screw yourself in The Last Remnant. If not to spoil anything, but it's like a shared level for everybody, so... something, I forget the exact details, but something about recruiting new characters, you kind of lose out on levels, because it's like everyone in your team gets level ups, and it's just like a party level, per se, more than an individual level. I forget the exact mechanics, and I'm probably butchering the explanation, but you can kind of screw yourself over by... there's the ribbon. Alright. That's what we wanted. Let's clean up some space here. One day we'll probably get promoted, so we'll save those. Oh, look, a katana. Just a regular katana. Alright. I don't really want the rub stick. That's gross. We'll keep a regular katana. Oh, there's a remaster for The Last Remnant that fixes some of that? That's cool. Because that's, I think, the reason I stopped playing it was, like, I don't know how far I got in the last Remnant. Maybe... I know as you get further along, you get, like, larger and larger armies. So I know I was getting to the point where I was, like... It looked like I was getting close to the maximum size group, or at least not too far off that. So I feel like I must have been, like, at least halfway through or something. But then I realized that, like, I couldn't change party members and recruit people. I think I'd grinded a little bit, which is something I was likely to do. And because I grinded a little bit early, it was like, well, now anyone else you recruit will never catch up again. So it's kind of like, I think it reminded me of Chrono Cross's leveling system, which was like, bosses give you experience only. So if you don't bring people that you want to level up to boss fights, then you just forget about them because they never get any stronger, and you can't grind on random enemies. It's kind of closer to that. And I was like, why would you do that? Wait a second. That was secretly a really good weapon. This is a Bane sword that's actually the Saber sword. So that's free cast of Saber. That's like a power glove, except better because it's on a weapon. Okay, hold on. This has been a really good Earth Cave. Here I am talking about other games. Earth Cave's been pretty good. A ribbon and a really nice buffing weapon. I still have to go buy that Life 2 spell. But yeah, I want to try Last Remnant again one day before I grow old and can no longer hold a controller. Yeah, the FF2 system is a nice idea, but the implementation of it is really hard. It's very, very finicky. I like the idea of growing skills as you do things, but in practice it tends to mean a kind of weird way of grinding. You stop hitting yourself to get HP by damaging yourself. I think it was a very... ambitious idea, maybe. It just didn't quite work out. Hey there, Vampire. How you doing? Oh, bye, Vampire. To be honest, I heard people like to do double shields in FF2, but I always went double swords. Oh, we could have got this ages ago. Well, I am glad we can at least get into the sky. Finally. It would have been nice to get that a little earlier. But we are not in an airship-less seed. We can, in fact, get into the sky. And that means the bottle will probably end up leading us to something like the... I think there's an incentivized ribbon and then the tail. So Lefane will have one, and one of those two. And the bottle turn-in will be the other one. The Dawn of Souls remake for FF2 gets it a lot better. If you ever want to give something a try that's like Final Fantasy II, but not quite like the NES version, the remake, I play the GBA one myself. I have a Let's Play of it on my channel. It's actually pretty good. It fixes a lot of the problems. It's still weird in the leveling system, but it's definitely more balanced. Magic's more useful. Complicated. Takes a while to figure out how magic works, especially the buff spells, but like the buffing spells are really strong in the Dawn of Souls FF2 remake. Like, but you have to level them up to make them good. So like you can get, you know, protect and shell and all those things, and you can turn them into really good like haste and all that stuff. But like a level 1 haste spell is garbage. It takes like level 8 or 10 or something, and yeah, everything can be multicasted, but multicasting makes the spells weaker. So it's actually got a lot of like behind the scenes, you know, math. Well, I don't remember enough about Last Remnant to know like how far in that is or who that is or anything. It's been ages since I played that game, so I don't remember the story at all. I just remember thinking it was okay. Like, I thought the story was fair, and I kind of liked the combat system because it was pretty unique. Also, like, there's so many games I need to play. I really need to play some Xenoblade. Like, seriously. Seriously need to get through Xenoblade Chronicles and 2. For real. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but, like, I started on the Nintendo Wii way back, and now there's, like, better versions of it out. gotta do it. Here I am playing Final Fantasy 1 for the 500th time. I mean, the randomizer really does breathe a lot of life into these kinds of games. And like someone had asked earlier if there's a Final Fantasy 6 randomizers. Yes, there is! No, I haven't tried it yet. I'm scared that if I start playing that, I'll never see my wife again. Alright, well, that was a good pick. I'm glad we went to get the Earth Cave out of the way. I mean, I'm not happy that that's where the floater was hiding, but at least we got it, and now we can fly around an hour and a half in. To be honest, our time's not terrible. We could go mode the rest of the game and probably be done by 2 hours. And we had a really slow start, so all in all, this has been a fine seed. It's not that bad. Given all the messing around and backtracking I've had to do on top of things. Sailing around the whole world. Plus my rants about other games when I'm not even really paying attention. That's got to slow me down a little bit. Punching is very strong in Final Fantasy 2. They do eventually cap out, but like at the very end game, weapons are better than punching. But most of the time, punching is better than weapons. It's true. Okay, well we could do the volcano, but first let's go. We gotta find Melmond and Lefane. Of course, we get to them in the wrong order, so we're gonna have to go for a walk. Hey man, I like just rambling. I said it would be a casual stream today, right? We can talk about all kinds of RPGs. I have so many games that I'd like to play, or finish playing that I started once upon a time that I don't know how I'm ever going to get it done, but there are some games I really need to prioritize and finish up. And maybe some of them will be streamed or Let's Played, recorded, but I probably can't do it with all of them because there's only so many hours of uploading and video editing I can handle. Because that slows things down even more. I was actually playing around a little bit with Grandia 1. There's a remaster on Steam for Grandia 1 and 2. I never played Grandia 1 when it came out. I played Grandia 2 back in the old days and thought that was pretty good. But playing Grandia, just started Grandia 1. Didn't even get very far yet. But I'm like, yeah. After I finished Final Fantasy 15, I'm like, I should play a good JRPG. And I'm like, well, I've heard good things about Grandia, so let's give it a shot. It's interesting. I haven't decided if I'm gonna play all the way through or anything, but gold -8. Ha ha ha. A special holiday stream, maybe. I don't think we're doing a whole lot for Christmas, me and the wife. You know, with the coronavirus and everything. We'll probably just be staying home, keeping it kind of civil at the house. But yeah, I could probably do a couple streams over the holidays. I shouldn't even be looking at weapons. We know they're garbage. I gotta buy some magic. I would like to get promoted and then go buy magic. That's why I've been holding off. There's the fast, and the nuke is promotion locked. Okay, well we definitely want fast no matter what. And nuke if we can get promoted, which we should be able to do now. Exit finally. That's good. Don't worry, the most important spell ever, though, is Lamp. And we might as well learn how to make some fog after we learn how to make lamps. So, pretty good. Alright, level 5 magic. Fair. It's a long way away. Am I actually going to walk all the way back down here to get Warp? Or to get Nuke? I don't think so. The problem with anything on the Switch is I've had a Switch since, I don't know when I bought it. Fairly soon after it launched, I feel. But the problem I have with the Switch is I almost never turn it on. I'm a PC gamer first and foremost, so ow, no, get out of here, War Mech. That's not very nice. Any game on the Switch, there's a low chance of me playing it because lower chance because I just don't turn it on very often. Yeah, I liked Xenoblade. I never played Xenosaga. This should lead to the tail eventually, I think. Xenosaga is on the PS2, I believe, if I remember correctly. I played obviously Xenogears quite a lot. Xenogears is awesome. That's something we're going to finish Let's Playing one day, I promise. I guess the tail could be at the top of... I'm going to try to get promoted. We're going to go drop the Adamant off before we go up to the sky. Because I'd like to get promoted. Show off my sprites. Well, I mean, that's good. So we got a ribbon. We got 2 ribbons now. That was an incentivized ribbon. That means the tail, I think, has to be in Sky Castle. I think. I'm really not keeping very good track. Also, did I get the bottle ever? I did have the bottle. I should go turn that in. Where's Gaia? Do you guys remember where Gaia is? I feel like that's something I should know by now. Oh, that's right. Level 1 white magic kind of sucks. Was that at, like, Crescent Lake? I probably flew by it, like, 5 times. This always happens to me when I'm trying to do a casual seed. When I do entrance shuffles, even just town shuffles, I always lose track of stuff, easy stuff. Yeah. I mostly remembered. Oh, good job, Huzzle, getting your solo, well, not solo, but your quad night run of Might Magic 6. Right on. Finishing a series is very important. You don't want to leave series half finished. You don't want to be one of those kinds of YouTube channels. You know those kinds. Yeah, alright. This will probably lead us to the crown or something. And then we'll get an opal bracelet out of it. Last Ocean? I don't know what game that is. Now you lost me there, Sergey. Oh yeah, I remember the Luca cameo. That was pretty good in Xenogears. Yeah, I called the crown at least. Come on. All this fetch questing? Where's my promotion items? Dang it! Harm gloves? It's the power glove, except rolled to harm spell. That's not useful at all. Oh, Star Ocean, yeah, okay. Star Ocean also very good, yeah. Okay, everything here is garbage. Alright, back to doing dungeons, I think. Okay, we're going to Provoke It to buy life too, before I forget. We're nearby. I keep flying over it. Well, okay, the thing is, once we get promoted at the end of the game, remember when I said we won't be able to equip that opal armor until like 90% of the way through? Yeah, funny that. One day we're going to come back and try to learn Life 2 on someone else. But at least for now, we've got, like, if a war mech attacks us, we've got one person that can revive the party. Last Remnant. Yeah, there's a lot of RPGs out these days. I think there's like a... do you guys remember the not exactly sequel, but follow-up to, oh dang, I can't remember the first game. I have it on my channel. It's like an indie RPG from the FF team, sort of. Not Etrian, no. It's like, God dang it, I can't remember. It's snowy everywhere. I'm not even gonna bother with chess anymore. What could we find? Excalibur? We've got a coral sword. This is good. We don't really have very good swords, to be honest. We've got a basic katana and a massa +2. That's all. We just give the massa to the knight. It'll be fine. Lunar was pretty good. I haven't played that in a long time either. Vandal Hearts. I heard about that. I don't think I ever played it. There's a lot of PlayStation era games that I just never had time or chance to play. Not Terradigma. No. Recent. It's like on the Steam on PC. Like a recent-ish release. I'm trying to. It's like Lost Sphere or something, and then. Hey there, Blue Dragon. How you doing? Octopath. No, earlier than that. Like I'm talking a few years ago. I should play Octopath though. That's true. What's the game I'm thinking of? I don't know. I don't know why my brain's just like... I Am Setsuna. There you go. Maverick Hunter got the game. The Lost Sphere is what I was thinking, because someone was like Lost Ocean. I'm like, is that the game you're thinking? But then I couldn't remember the name of any of that, so... Alright, the tail was in the sky. They made us really work for it. I think we've turned in everything at this point, so just click some stuff off. There we go. Everything's checked off. Alright, we can at least get promoted by the end game. Oh, we should try to run into some red ankylos. I did try to do a little tweak to them in the ROM editor. Seeing as my +++ stuff didn't fix, I should see if my other edit fixed anything. Well, fixed. Just some little fun surprise edits for anyone that made it this far into the video. Spiritual successors to Chrono. I don't know if I give Setsuna that much praise. I mean, it's trying to, but I don't want to put it in the same category as Chrono Trigger. Now I don't even know if we've got the damage output for endgame right now. Like, what are we looking at here? We've just been kind of rolling through the game, but I don't actually have very many nukes or anything. Yeah, we're doing decent enough damage. We've got fast, right? And, sheesh. We actually don't have a whole lot of stuff, do we? No nuke, no fades, no invis 2. We've got a Cure 4 axe. We've got saber, so we can fast and buff. Like, technically, you know, if we find something that we can't damage, I can saber up, and that would probably get the job done. Obviously, the first form of these fiends is not the problem. It's the Temple of Fiends Revisited. That's where it's like, maybe I'm not sure if we're strong enough. Come on, where's some red ankylos? Hey there, Thornum, by the way. We're not friends with red ankylos. Red ankylos are the enemy. There's normal ankylos. I just want to show off the red ankylos, see if anything's different. I don't want to... Well, we could probably fight a Warmech now, to be honest. Hey, look at T plus Rex! Can't believe how busted my ROM is right now. Star Ocean, the only one I've significantly played is the one on PlayStation, which is the first one I played. I've played a little bit of the one on SNES, and probably would like to play that eventually, all the way through. And they didn't... Nope, nothing. None of my ROM edits worked. Well, anyway, you got to see them. You see, even saw a T-Rex. Super rare. Where are we going? We're going to get promoted. Also, yes, happy birthday there. Enjoy. Let's see. Where am I going? I'm lost. Trying to read chat. I'm drunk flying around this world. I need a designated flyer. Someone in chat, take my keys. Okay, so with this, we can equip some super armor and learn a couple more spells. I think our red wizard will be able to learn life too, which was like the main thing we wanted to get out of this. I think. And Kev will be able to learn some black magic, right? He doesn't have any malices. And this means we can give him the katana, which I'm pretty sure is better than Coral plus 9. I mean, I don't know. 55, 135. Yeah. Aww. The Coral Sword plus 9 is actually better than the katana. Well, I guess that's good to know. Alright. Coral Sword +9. Good, good. Alright, now we move the Flame Armor to the Ninja and the Opal Armor to the Knight. If I can get another Flam Shield, it'll be better than the Pro Cape. Don't think we need Harm 3 that bad. I haven't seen the white shirt or the black shirt. No Excaliburs or anything, but the Saber, I should switch that around. Who wants to have the Cure Axe? I guess I'll leave it on the Ninja for now. Because Red Wiz gets it anyway, and then, yeah, okay. Yeah, we were pretty powerful at this point. Alright. I did play the PlayStation 2 Star Ocean a little bit. I don't think I ever finished it, though. It was at a friend's house, like so many games. Where am I going? Trying to find out if Red Wizard can learn Life 2. I should really need to memorize the level 3 slots. And then we're going to go to Volcano and wrap this seed up. We're probably strong enough to finish the seed, to be honest. So, no. Alright. Take that. Take that. So we've got 2 regular life casters and a life 2 caster, and we'll just have to roll with that. Let me just do some backfilling here. That's a tough level. Warp, life, and ruse. Ruse is pretty nice on the knight. Yeah, that's a tough level. We're probably not using warp on the knight though, not at this point. Oh yeah, we're gonna get lock on the ninja for sure. That way we've got someone that can lower boss evasion. Got warp, zap, life on the red whiz, lock and zap on the ninja. Okay, that's good catch. Yeah, 40's getting closer for everyone, I think. Black magic level 4, lightning 3, not that important, but we'll pick them up. The lightning 3 and brack, lightning 3 brack, lightning 3 brack, anything at level 4 white. Heal 2, oh, invis 2, I would like to pick some of those up. Are you telling me, okay, Red Wiz can learn that. Good. So we've got 2 people that can cast Invis 2. So we've got the ability to evade up. We can fast up with level 5. So Red Wiz is the only one with fast. There's level 5 nuke, but that doesn't really matter. Fast is probably better for the end game. We never found Fade. We never found Temper, I don't think. But we should be good at this point. I don't think we need to do too much more messing around. Radiatus Stories or Radiant Horstoria? I recognize the names. One of them is on, like, the DS or something. The one on the DS I played. I don't think I finished it. The time traveling, that's the one that's more like Chrono Trigger in my book. With all the different branching timelines, whichever game that one was. I remember thinking that was pretty cool. Didn't like the combat system as much, but the story was neat. That's his story on the DS, yeah. That was a good one. Bravely Default was on the 3DS or something. That one had a lot of things right that I wish more JRPGs would copy. The ability to just turn random encounters off or increase your encounter rate as you prefer. That's such a smart thing for a JRPG. Like, I think, like, all JRPGs, instead of, like, turning them into action RPGs or whatever, like Final Fantasy 15. Just let us turn encounters off if we want, and it's fine. Like, it's no big deal. If you need to get some levels up, just turn them on, or just play normal, whatever. It's up to you. Oh, am I trying to run from an unrunnable fight? Yeah. Reading chat. Sorry, guys. And then the bulls run away from me instead. I'm not that high a level. What's going on? Oh, and a sneaky Agama casts invisibility on itself. You gotta forgive me. This seed's gone a little bit off at the end. We did the eye grind back in Castle of Ordeals, and ever since then we've been high enough level to kind of not pay attention to things. So it's made me lose track of what's going on a little bit. Alright, let's go beat up on the last fiend. Ooh, stun touch, 7 attacks. That's pretty strong. Now, here's a good question for anyone watching live. Was there a shop that sold flame shields? Oh, a PS2 Square Enix. I probably have not played it then. Alright. I don't think it's worth searching for, but if there was a place where we could buy a flame shield for the ninja, that might be worth it, because we could get him up to pretty close to 97 absorb as well. At least into 91 or so. We've got 2 ribbons on my life casters. I can move them up later. Yeah, we're pretty well set up. No defense sword, because there wasn't any, but a saber sword's great. Cure 4 axe is great. Yeah, let's go crush the seed. Merilith. Yeah, I like Merilith. I mean, Carrie, I like the FF1 original translation because that's what I grew up with. But I think Merilith is pretty good too. We've even got the heal potion on the right slot. That's nice. Alright, we are so going. We're not going to finish under 2 hours, but not too far off. I did play Valkyrie Profile on the PS1. I remember not getting into the sequel on the PS2 though, whatever they called, Valkyria something. I thought the first game on the PS1 was really neat, the way they did kind of the recruitment for your characters and then turning them into Einheier or whatever they called them. And yeah, I thought it was really neat how the first game worked, but then the second game was like PS2 3D showcase and everything was suddenly slow. Just panning around battles, and I don't know. I never got into it. But I had a hard time with PS2 era games because I thought they spent way too long just showing off their 3D environments and not letting you play the game you wanted to play. Now, we don't have fire. Oh, we have fire too. I'm not casting that, though. I never bought any magic for the ninja. This is not good because it's unrunnable. We have to fight it, and they got a ton of defense. And they resist ice and lightning. Certainly not great. Maybe we can paralyze them? This is making me think a lot more than I was expecting. Luckily, they don't do much damage. Oh, okay, we could just crit kill them. They probably don't resist time element from stop. It's a reasonable chance. Looks like we do enough damage to just kill them. Sometimes these guys roll up high enough defense that you just can't hurt them. Yeah, if you're playing Valkyrie Profile, you either follow a guide or don't get the good ending. Yeah, Simiria, it's like her little sister or something. Valkyrie Profile. The story for Valkyrie, like, I should probably let's play that one day, because the story for Valkyrie Profile is just nuts. Like, it puts a lot of similar era JRPGs just to shame. Like, just to shame. Like, just There's so many like layers of that story. I mean, I'm pretty sure the way I remember it anyway. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Blue Dragon. I've heard the name. I don't think I've played the game. You know, we never did fight a war mech and actually kill it. Probably just gonna die. 13 damage. Oh, that's pretty good. Well, Kev's dead. Yeah, it doesn't have too much evasion or anything. Because we don't have any nuke or anything to like speed this up. It's swing or do nothing. Come on, war mech. Alright, we got this. We can fight war mechs. That's a lot of experience. We just got like 2 level ups, I guess. Alright, we'll use one of our precious life casts. I think what I'll try to do is Cure Axe up anyone that's damaged. Rather than wasting heal potions for hours. That's such an overpowered item. I hadn't even really used it till now. It's stupidly overpowered. That's like... would you rather have a nuke axe or a cure 4 axe? That's the real question. Because they're both pretty darn broken. I think for the end of the game, you'd rather have a cure 4 axe. Maybe early on you want the nuke before you get any good spells, but... it just depends on how late in the game you are, but... Alright, Lich version 2. Lich 2.0. 500 damage. 700 damage. 1,000 damage, and gone. I mean, the nuke axe sounds really cool, and it is really good early on. But, it doesn't kill fiends very quickly. And Cure 4, you know... well, yeah, the Duke Nukem Axe. Sure, that's this little special. Just rename it the Duke Axe. Knights of the Old Republic was really good. Oh, yeah. I played KOTOR 2 a lot, and then I think I just watched the Let's Play of KOTOR 1, because I didn't own it as a kid. I just got this. So many... isn't that how it was back when we were kids? Anyone around my age. Those of you who grew up at FF1. So many games, you ended up getting the second one, because that's... by the time it got popular, and then you had the money, or you had the right console or PC at that point, and you just end up at the computer store, you're like, oh cool, I'll just get that game, it looks good, and you just start with the sequel. You never had a chance to play it all the way through from the beginning. Cure 4 Axel Knight, yeah, it's pretty good. Especially, do you guys remember how much Absorb Duke has right now? He's got some pretty good armor. Even without evade buffing, he's got 97 absorb. Minus 97 damage from any attack is not bad. Unless, I mean, criticals ignore all that, but other than crits, it's pretty solid. I don't know if I've ever seen him crack 100 in the randomizer yet. One of these days we'll see him crack 100 though. Guaranteed it. We just need to get like... Opal Shield +9, or Aegis Shield +9, Dragon Armor +9, all that stuff. Let's top off. Let me just think about things here for a second. I probably want to switch this over now. Let me just see the damage here. 69, nice. But, as nice as that is, that's a lot nicer. So we're going to switch over to big damage, and the White Mage is going to be on buffing duty more than anything. I'm going to trust that 92 absorb on the Duke to not die and have a ton of damage. I never really got the levels on Kev for magic. We got that fast charge, and let's at least try to get some invis going. Let's see what the Kraken smacks us with. Good turn order for buffs. Quad X isn't going to work. 10 hits, 873. We're good. Next round, we win. Yeah, I mean, unless the Kraken kills you, but... yeah. Didn't even kill Hero. the hero we needed. Tank that hit. There you go. Goodbye, Kraken number 2. Nice try. Thanks for showing up. No prize for you. Alright. Let's, we're spoiled. We got so much good stuff now. We're way overpowered. that was too easy. Alright, Tiamat, what you got? Again, let's saber up. We'll do one of my buffs this time around. Might move that axe over. Gotta save that lock for chaos. I only have the one. I should probably have got a couple more levels. Oh well. Save a couple invises for chaos, but don't know what Tia's gonna throw at us. Slow 2 is kind of mean, but didn't hit Duke, so it's alright. Non-elemental, so ribbons don't protect you from slow. I don't actually think... Cure 4 does cure statuses, but I don't think it cures slow. Although that'd be pretty cool if it did. Sure, throw a bracket to you. 8 hits, 1100 damage. Ah, it's over. Don't worry about the brack, doesn't matter. 1 hit, 133 is pretty good crit. Anyway, Tia's dead, nothing to worry about. Now, I did clamp their HP at 100% minimum, I believe, so Tia will at least have over 1000 or 1200 HP. We got stopped. Remember how I said time was non-elemental? Ribbons don't protect, or not non-elemental, but time elemental. I don't think ribbons actually protect you from time. So, okay, we're not quite done just yet. Gotta save those fasts. Now is when something like the Cure 4 axe would do a nice little trick, though. Now, if you have the never mind, Tia's dead. If you buff some of the... I think I actually turned on some of the healing spell buffs, the lamp buff and some of those other ones. So there are a couple ways to cure stun mid-battle now, thanks to Randomizer being Rando. But yeah, Cure 4 has always done that. Okay, well, looks like... I'd say we're in pretty good shape. Let me just double down on this one. No, I think Tristan goes to the top. And then I think... we're investing mostly in the Duke, but actually having the Cure Axe on Kevin seemed to work really well last time, so... And Kev has pretty good absorb himself. He's unlikely to get one shot. And you get to see our pink-haired white armor sprite. Yeah, that was a nice finisher kill there on Tia. Alright, let's do this. I never picked up any wall spells, sadly. We did have Lamp. Of course, I picked up the best spell in the game. Alright. Let's put that lock on. And at least spend one turn sabering up. Poison damage. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, on modern PCs, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, has some difficulties getting set up, let's say. Alright, I'll also try to put fast on Kev. We already saw slow too, so we're not going to see that again. And I'll do one more saber just in case. With the Massa, though, it shouldn't matter. He's like over 100 damage already per swing. Okay, we've got a fair bit of cure, a fair bit of invis up. Let's just let everyone heal up a bit. And let's Duke swing. Chaos is really spamming the AoEs, so some cure magic is necessary for this one. 9 hits, 983 damage. We got lots of heals left. So much. We'll just let you swing. Coral Sword, 248. There's the nuke! Ooh, everyone survives by the skin of their teeth. Should have cast more Cure 4. 10 hits, 1,000. We're up to about 2,000 damage now. We could win at any second, but we could also get hit by another nuke. It'd be real bad if Duke goes down. Another 1,000 damage, and it is over. Goodbye, Chaos. 3,000 damage. Massive swings well. That was a pretty good nuke. It did do a lot of damage. It just didn't quite do enough to kill anybody. That's the first time I saw a nuke all game. I don't even know what level it was on. Alright. Good fight. Not that hard. I'd say overall the seed was pretty mellow. Weak fireball, strong nuke. I mean, Chaos was throwing out a lot of damage. He had like all the high level AoE spells, just spam them out. I don't know if he even attacked us physically once. Alright, well, future tubers, I guess that's the end of this run. It was kind of a nice, relaxed run. I don't know what my next one will be, but today, just kind of a fun one. I'm trying to get those plus signs fixed, so I'm going to see if I can figure those out maybe before the next seed, but for the future tubers, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and we'll see you for the next randomizer run. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.